Oh, good morning on this wonderful Sunday, froggy Sunday. Looks like it's clearing up though. It's great to be with you again today. And get ready, my soul, I'm diving in. Well, have you taken the plunge into 2014? I think I'm still sticking my toe in a little bit, just kind of easing into it. Because 2013 was a big year of change for me. I don't know about you. How many of you had big changes last year? Wow. Most of us, yeah. I had big changes in my outer world and in my inner world. In the outer world, I finished ministerial school, got ordained, moved from snowy Missouri to the land of sunshine. Hallelujah! And with an inner change also, I did a lot of inner healing and deepening my faith through grief over a beloved family member who passed. And one thing I know for sure is that with every painful subtraction or every delightful addition, God is still here in the equation of my life. I love the word new, a new beginning versus an old beginning. Where you're doing something over again, you've tried it, it didn't quite turn out like you wanted it to, so, all right, I'll do it again. And that reminds me of when I was learning piano. It wasn't one of my talents, but I was playing those scales over and over, beginning again and again. Or those math problems where you work on until the eraser tears a hole in the paper, that kind of beginning. But a new beginning has a whole new enlivened energy about it, doesn't it? It has that energy of excitement and adventure, of exploration into new places that we've never been before. So with a new beginning, instead of hammering something over and over again by ourselves, we may decide it's okay to ask for help. Instead of practicing over and over and over, trying to get the old perfect, we may decide to go play a whole different song. Instead of like Sisyphus pushing that boulder up the hill and it rolls down again, and pushing it up the hill and it rolls down again. We may just decide to leave that stone and go play in a whole new field. Yes, our new beginnings. New beginnings put us in liftoff mode where, we're headed out beyond the land of our comfort zone. And as a wise person once said, running laps never led to flying. So as part of the greater unity movement, we've just come through this season of light with Advent and reconnecting with our Christ qualities of faith, of peace, of love, of joy. And perhaps some of you have continued that momentum with the unity rituals of the new year, the burning bowl, the letters to God, the white stone ceremony. How many of you were able to do some of those things? Great. Or maybe on your own you just set some resolutions or really good intentions for the new year. Yeah. And I bet most of us have some really deep, heartfelt desires for 2014. Those ripe ideas that cannot be denied anymore. Well, I love what Unity teacher Emily Cady says about desire. She says, all desire for good in the heart is really God's desire in us and for us, so that divine desire is pushing out through us. And she says, with that desire contains its plan for unfoldment. Isn't that nice to know? And maybe sometimes it doesn't happen as fast as we want it to. But that plan for unfoldment is there. It's in process. And we might also see this as the evolutionary impulse implanted within us, urging us forth to what Eric Butterworth says, release our imprisoned splendor. It's there, waiting to be released. I like this reminder from the Apostle Paul in Romans chapter 12:2. Do not let the world squeeze you into its own mold, but let God remold your mind from within. Let God remold your mind from within. Are you ready to do that? Let God remold your mind from within? Yes. What might that look like? Perhaps recommitting to a prayer practice or a meditation practice or trying something new or different ways to reconnect with that source. And looking at your announcements, you have some wonderful things here. Yeah. So that would be another opportunity to come and get that refreshment and remolding with that divine within. And with that process, we let go of any limiting views that we have of the world. We let go of any limiting views that we have of ourselves and others. And ladies, we're going to do some of this at our workshop this afternoon, letting go, breaking free of some of those molds and reconnecting with our divine self and our divine beauty. So I hope you can give yourself the gift and come this afternoon. And guys, sorry about the workshop. Maybe next time with the workshop, but your benefit is this afternoon you'll get a happier woman coming home. It takes a lot of courage and faith to have a new beginning, to allow more of our divine light to express, to say yes to a new way of being as we entertain less doubt and more confidence, less judgment, more acceptance, less fear, more love. Instead of flying under the radar, that new beginning propels us up through that cloud cover of the limitations of the past into that magnificence that we truly are as beloved creations of a loving Creator, with the power to co-create a world where all are able to love and be loved beyond measure. And one great thing about having a spiritual community as this is that everyone can do it together to support each other in this unfoldment of the imprisoned splendor coming forth in this world. Unity writer, minister Eric Butterworth, again, he's one of my favorites. He said that the benefit of coming to church on Sundays versus staying home and reading a spiritual book is that when you're here, a response is felt in the cells and functions of the body as a healing influence. When the vibration of the body temple is synchronized with the powerfully spoken words of truth and the fine vibrations of the sanctuary and the collective expectations of the congregation, there is a transforming influence. So you can tell all of that to those who are watching the game today. He says, to those who can get synchronized with the positive vibrations, every service is a healing service. So as you go through this time of transition as a community and holding beloved Reverend Mary Lee in prayer and having your own new beginning, know that your presence here is a vital part of every service. The love that you bring, the caring, the support, the love in action with volunteers. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes on a Sunday morning, and there's a ministry team that maybe is a little invisible, but if you were part of the volunteers today, can you stand up so we can honor you and give you a hand? Come on, don't be shy. Thank you. So bringing your love here makes a difference. And also receiving love and support when you are here too, when you need it. It's that relationship and community that is so valuable. Know that your love does make a difference. And especially in times of transition and new beginnings. Well, each day we live with the mystery of becoming. As 13th century mystic Hildegard de Bingen wrote, "We must each learn to hang out on the green growing edges of our own becoming."
Wow.
Say that again.
Yeah, say that again.
We must each learn to hang out in the green growing edges of our own becoming.
Wow.
So how can we...
Is that tree?
Yes, it is, isn't it? Wisdom from the ages.
One more time.
Oh, one more time, okay. We must each learn to hang out in the green growing edges of our own becoming. So,
A 15-year-old likes it.
yes. Yeah, that's a winner, huh?
Where did you get that?
Hildegard de Bingen.
Spell,
Hildegard de Bingen, yeah. She's Googleable.
how do you
Yes.
spell her name?
It's Hildegardedebingen.
Wait a minute. The last
G-A-N, yes.
G-A-N.
So you can,
E-N.
yeah, de Bingen, D-E-B-I-N-G-E-N. Yes.
Alice and I believe a nun as well.
Yes, as well. And she did a lot of writing and has a lot of wisdom.
Wrote some
So,
hymns too.
yes, an amazing woman. So she wrote about us hanging out on the green growing edges of our becoming, but how can we do that if perhaps we've been hanging out somewhere else? When I was in ministerial school, we had this practice every class of praying in before the service. And I love that because we, got to let go of the busyness for the morning and just get centered and open to whatever our instructors would be presenting that day. And I remember one time that it was my turn and I had just said this beautiful prayer and we all opened our eyes. And one of my classmates looked at me and said, "You know, Robyn, when you asked us to breathe into this new day, it smelled a lot like yesterday." And it does sometimes when we forget that we have the ability to seek and find the wonder, the joy, the beauty in each new day. Each new day can be a new beginning. You may have heard the saying, some people live 99 years and others live 1 year 99 times. So opening to your new beginning in 2014 is a conscious choice, which, depending on what happened last year, may require turning the cheek on 2013. Turning the other cheek. As our master teacher Jesus had some really good advice about this. In the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verses 38 through 40, we read, "You've heard it said that an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you, do not resist an evildoer, one experiencing separation and alienation. Do not resist an evildoer, but if anyone strikes you on the right cheek, turn the other also." So, when Jesus advised us to turn the other cheek, he's not saying stand there and get slapped again. God's not telling us to be a doormat. No, he's telling us something very powerful here. For when we turn the other cheek, we look away from the offender. We look in a new direction. We leave the hurt behind, the past behind, and we look to a new direction of hope, of strength, of love, and know that with every step in this new direction, that God is right there, loving us, supporting us, and guiding us. I was very moved recently of the story of a 25-year-old woman who chose to leave her past behind and look in a new direction for her life. And maybe some of you have seen her on YouTube. But I watched a TED Talk of hers called Brave Starts Here. And her name is Lizzy Velazquez. And she has had many health challenges in her life. She was born with this rare syndrome that prevents her body from gaining weight. No matter what she eats, she cannot gain weight. She said she eats 60 small meals a day, but still her body cannot gain weight. And as part of this syndrome, her body has aged prematurely as well and left her blind in one eye. So she's talked about this. She spoke of the hardships in her life with her health challenges, and then from the moment she went to kindergarten, all through school, being bullied, judged, shunned. And she spoke of all that pain in her heart about praying at night to be normal, to be different, and then waking up the next morning and still being the same. And her pivotal moment, she said, came when she was in high school, when she found a YouTube video of herself that someone had posted entitled, "The World's Ugliest Woman," which had over 4 million views. And she described the comments. You know, when you watch on YouTube, if you scroll down, there are comments. And she described the cruel comments that people had left there. And the name calling her hideous, a monster. And many of the commenters said she didn't even deserve to live.
Oh, gosh.
So she described her anger, and her pain, her hurt. It hurt her heart. You know, imagine that. Someone did that to you. And she talked about that, and she wanted to retaliate. She's a good writer. She was about to retaliate, but something said, wait, you have a choice here. You have a choice here. So she asked herself, am I going to let these negative comments define me? Or can I define myself and have my own definition of beauty and success? And what a wise being in high school to make this decision. So she decided to turn the other cheek and look in a new direction. As she rose above those broadcasts of fear and hatred. And she decided to be grateful for what she did have in her life, for that one eye that could see. She jokes that she has beautiful hair. She does. She loves her hair. And she set some really good goals for herself, amazing goals. She decided to become a motivational speaker, which she's been doing for years. She decided to get a college degree, which she just finished, a degree in communications. She decided to write a book, and she's already submitted her 3rd manuscript. She also says she wants to have a family of her own, which she sees happening a little farther down the road when she's done her career a little bit. So she didn't let it stop her. She looked in a new direction and went for it. So my question for you today is, in this brand new 2014, will you let yourself be defined by 2013? Or will you choose to look in a new direction? To look to the truth that you were made in the image and likeness of God, a beloved creation of a beloved Creator, meant to enjoy a life of abundance, of joy, of fun, and of freedom. And as we close today, I'd like to welcome you to Flight 2014. As we prepare for takeoff into the new year, please make sure your attitude and blessings are secured and locked in an upright position. All self-destructive devices should be turned off at this time. Should we lose altitude under pressure during the flight, reach up and pull down a prayer. Prayers will be automatically activated by faith. Once your faith is activated, you can assist other passengers. There will be no emotional baggage allowed on this flight. The captain has cleared us for takeoff. Destination greatness. Enjoy your flight. Thank you.